Tony Khan got a lot of props from me and a lot of other wrestling fans for going to the NFL, the actual NFL, selling an injury that he got on Dynamite. So this is his full interview that he did. Some of it I've already heard. He did cross the line, I believe. I think he went a little too far. I haven't seen all of this. Let's do it together. I'm pressing play right now.
Because of that devastating Meltzer driver, which has been...
Meltzer driver. So it looks like they're jumping kind of right in. Probably asked him why he has a neck brace.
Has been rebranded,
well, honestly, guys, they changed the name a couple months ago to the Tony Khan driver. Maybe I should have seen it coming in hindsight.
That's actually kind of funny. So, yeah, so the Young Bucks had the Dave Meltzer driver, who's like this AEW shill, like loves AEW. They changed the name to the TK driver, which is a spiked pile driver, and that's funny. That's funny. Maybe I should have seen it coming, like foreshadowing this was gonna happen. Tony just doing it with a complete straight face, deadpan sound. Okay. All right, so far so good.
Wait, you knew they changed it a couple months ago?
I mean, the clues were there.
They called it the Tony Khan driver. You know, I have a complicated relationship with Matt and Nick and Jack. Jack had been out of AEW for a while. I had sent him on an excursion to our partner in Japan where he did great things. I reinstated him Wednesday.
Okay, so he's saying he has a complicated relationship with him. That's cool because, you know, you got to think in Kayfabe world, why would you employ people who are attacking you, who are belittling you, making fun of you? So it's a complicated relationship. So that makes sense because, you know, to the normal everyday person, like I'm a boss, and would I keep employing the person who is punching me in the face? Because Vince McMahon did that with Stone Cold, and now here Tony Khan with a neck brace saying, yeah, they're my employees. I got a complicated relationship with them. That's a good explanation, actually. Sometimes the best way to explain something is by not explaining it, but addressing it.
I reinstated him Wednesday night on TBS by his own request. He repaid me by hitting me in the stomach with a microphone.
Yeah. When he hit him in the stomach with a microphone, that was hilarious. He hits him in the stomach, he doesn't react, and then he falls down like he was shot dead, just dead there for like a good couple seconds, and then he starts rattling in pain. He sold it worse than Vince sold a Stone Cold Stunner, and that's okay. That's okay. It was funny. It was hilarious, and I do hope that he gets a little better at selling things, but it's fine. It's fine. He's the owner of the company. He's taking bumps. Give the guy a break.
Yeah. And then Matt and Nick pulled me up and gave me the Tony Khan driver, which is really a spike pile driver. It's one of the deadliest moves in pro wrestling. It's been banned in a lot of states. It's illegal in the state of Tennessee.
This is actually vintage Tony. Not only is he explaining the move, but he's going really deep diving into it, saying it's banned in Tennessee, probably because of something that happened with Jerry Lawler, honestly, or even Andy Kaufman. Coincidentally, this kind of reminds me of it because Andy Kaufman, like I said in my other video, would have the side effects that happen in wrestling, take it to the mainstream and talk about it, just like Tony Khan is doing this right now. And I love that Tony's doing it, and it's so on brand with him to go really into the little minute points of something. It's banned in Tennessee.
And for them to do that to me in front of millions of people around the world and a great audience live Wednesday night on TBS.
A great audience in the world live on Wednesday night on TBS. Great promoting.
Yeah. It scared me, and it scared my family, and I just feel really lucky that I'm here at the NFL draft and with the Jaguars and able to still be working at the Jaguars and AEW right now.
Yeah, and you could.
That's really good, actually. It scared me. Could you imagine, for real, if like suddenly you're just getting attacked on live TV by your employees? One turns you upside down and just spikes your neck, your head into the ground? Yeah. Honestly, that would scare me too. I would literally be like, I'm not going to make it to the NFL draft this week.
Here the folks who came to your assistance yelling, what the hell are you doing? This is a billionaire. You got to be careful.
His father, Sean, came into the ring.
Yeah. Sean,
you know what?
You got to stay out.
It's a billionaire. You do got to be careful because they could sue you. Like, woo, they could sue you forever. They could just sue you forever.
Yeah. Does Shad tell you, like, you got to stay out of the ring? Like, is he concerned?
Yeah.
for your well-being here?
No, he was very angry at the people that assaulted me. My son loves AEW.
That's funny. That is funny also. No, he was actually very angry because you know what? I would be angry too. If my kid was employing people and then those employees attacked him, yeah, I would be angry like Tony's dad. I'd be like, what are you doing? Abraham, Cornelius, fire those guys. Do something.
My dad loves AEW, and he's a big fan of what we do Wednesdays on TBS and Saturdays, just like tomorrow.
Wednesday on TBS and Saturdays.
Tomorrow night here in Jacksonville on TNT every week. He watches every show, and he never expected something like that. It's never happened before. You know, AEW, we've been doing this for 5 years.
AEW been doing it for 5 years. This is good. This is good. Props, Tony.
Are the most successful sports startup since the AFL.
Okay, this is the part where I've actually seen. So I have a couple things prepared. So I didn't actually see that stuff before. I just kind of was trying to do a video on the stuff that I've seen after this. I didn't realize there was a longer version. I have a couple points. He just said that this was the most successful startup since the AFL. The AFL started, I think, in the 60s. They lasted about 10 years before they merged, and that's not true. The most successful thing since then, actually, and I mean, yeah, it's very successful, the AFL, of course it is, but the UFC has started since then, and I would say he could say that we're the most successful startup since the UFC, but maybe he doesn't want to because UFC and WWE are now kind of together, so maybe he's trying to, like, completely not give any credibility to TKO companies.
Pre-merger, there has not been a challenger brand that has gained as much market share as AEW in many, many, many years.
That's a true statement. TNA has come, but TNA has not been a strong enough competitor to make WWE scared. Even though TNA did get Kurt Angle, they even got Hogan, they even tried to go up one-on-one on Monday nights, and really, WWE never even gave them any consideration at all. Though there was a funny moment when Kurt Angle came back as the general manager, and he fired, who did he fire? Or he said he was going to fire a couple people, and they were like, well, what are we going to do? And he was like, I hear TNA's hiring. That was, I think, one of the only times they referenced TNA. They're so not a competitor that WWE has actually brought in their champion twice to be in the Royal Rumble. Once was Mickie James, so you kind of understood why, because she has such a lineage at WWE, but then the next time they brought in someone who had never been in WWE, and it's just the TNA champion, so it's like, yeah, well, Impact champion. So they don't look at them as a competitor. AEW, that's a legit statement. That's not just Tony, blowing smoke up anybody's butt. AEW, the strongest competitor since WCW, which was a very long time.
We are like the Pepsi of pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And
we are the Pepsi of pro wrestling. I agree with that statement, actually. Pepsi is in second place to Coke. And nothing wrong with that. Pepsi makes a lot of money. Pepsi makes a lot of money. I would love to have Pepsi money. So to say AEW is the Pepsi of pro wrestling, I totally agree with that.
The Pepsi of pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And we're up against a really evil juggernaut. WWE is
This is where Tony kind of starts to, lose me. I'm all for throwing insults and shade and all that stuff, but it has to be, there has to be some kind of truth, like a heel. A heel needs to have some kind of truth in what they're saying to justify what they are doing. And to say they're an evil juggernaut, why is the WWE an evil juggernaut? He's about to mention somebody, and it no longer applies. If he would have done this interview or angle maybe in December, maybe, or before the TKO merger, most definitely. But right now to do it, it's a little late. And to call them an evil juggernaut, it starts to become a bad look. This interview was going good, but it suddenly takes a turn and it becomes bad.
WWE is our competitor.
WWE is the competitor.
That's who we're facing. AEW, like the Pepsi of pro wrestling. WWE's like the Harvey Weinstein of pro wrestling.
That's it. AEW is the Pepsi. Okay, and WWE is the Harvey Weinstein. Whoa, that escalated quick. And even the reporters, look at the reporters.
And I'm really proud of what we do down here.
All right.
I think.
And,
Tony. All right, Tony.
Hold on, real quick.
Even the reporters were like, wait, what? What did he say? If you watch, they're like, wait, what? And Tony, he's kind of proud of that statement. I think that was a better statement in your head. You can say that Vince McMahon was like Harvey Weinstein, but you can't say WWE is like Harvey Weinstein, because if that's the case, then why are you trying to get Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch and Drew McIntyre? The WWE is not Harvey Weinstein. You could say that their former CEO was, and that's still to be debated. It's still yet to be proven. Let's just say that it's 100% factual that Vince McMahon did everything that he's been accused of. For argument's sake, right? Even in this context, you can't say that WWE itself is evil, because when news broke out, within 48 hours, Vince McMahon stepped down, so that was probably pressure put on them by TKO. So WWE in this moment is actually not evil, because they saw something that was unjust happening, and they forced the Harvey Weinstein to step down. So you can't say that WWE is Harvey Weinstein. If you want to say Vince McMahon was Harvey Weinstein, you have an argument there. And we could discuss that, but to say that WWE is, no. He should have just kept saying, we're Pepsi, they're Coke. You can say they're lazy, you could say they're overproduced, you could say a lot of things here. You shouldn't compare him to such a person. And if you don't know who Harvey Weinstein is, he was a very bad dude that took advantage of a lot of people. Even back in the day, Eric Bischoff would call Vince McMahon, he was scared, he was whatever, they definitely took shots at each other, but he never once was like, you're Pol Pot, you're a psycho murderer. He never crossed that line. You can't just go and grab anything. You can't just say anything. There has to be some backing, and WWE itself is not Harvey Weinstein, that's for sure.
What's the prognosis? What are the doctors telling you?
Well, to be honest, I think you're going to...
I'm glad the reporters there, they're probably a little more seasoned on, probably someone in their ear was like, change the subject, end this. So the reporters bring it back to more levity. They ask what the prognosis is, and I already know what Tony says, and it's good again. Tony gets back on track to being a good interview.
Well, to be honest, I think you're going to have to tune in to AEW to find out.
Look at the reporters. They're like, oh, of course. To be honest, you have to turn into AEW to find out. Great promoting.
What they have to say.
There we go.
You find out on TNT and TBS what my prognosis is and what's going to happen to me.
I'll tell you what, save all that stuff. Just tell us who you're taking tonight. We'll take that here. How about that?
Well, guys, this is the NFL Network. There's a lot of people watching.
And then it goes back to the NFL. So now we're just about NFL. But the way that he wouldn't answer, how's he doing? What's the prognosis? People want to know. He doesn't give it away. You have to tune in. All about those ratings. Get that bump. So, all right. Props there. He did a lot of good in that interview. He really sold it, and he promoted the company. That was great. The Harvey Weinstein comment, though, is going to overshadow everything. I'm going to give it a B-. If he hadn't said Harvey Weinstein, then it would have been an A-. A. But still, props to him. Props to him for trying. He made a mistake. It was a rookie mistake, but not the end of the world. Just fly past it. Don't lean into it. I know sometimes you like to prove that you didn't make a mistake and it was good that you actually did something. But this one, just forget about it. Just keep moving on. Just move on from that statement. And Tony, I'm acknowledging you for acknowledging kayfabe. And I hope that you people out there acknowledge my subscribe button. Tell me, are you excited about this whole angle? How do you feel about Tony's comments? Is WWE an evil juggernaut still? Is the WWE Harvey Weinstein, or was that a little too far? Please tell me in the comments below, and you guys have a great and beautiful day.